The five love languages were made popular by an author named Gary Chapman. And if you're not familiar with them, they include acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, and physical touch. Now, how does this apply to financial planning? We're going to actually apply these five love languages in the spirit of Valentine's Day here in February and talk about that next with Mike Hoyden. Welcome in. Glad to have you on the show once more. I'm Ben George with Mike Hoyden, founder and owner of Principal Preservation Services. Mike, I know we're recording this around, this will come out right after Valentine's Day, but still, I know a special time for a lot of people. Do you guys do anything special for Valentine's Day?
We don't. We actually hang out with our children and make it a fun kind of movie night and sometimes game night for Valentine's. My wife's birthday is always the day before, so we always go out the day before. And we stay away from Valentine's Day.
Nice. Don't blame you. Don't blame you. All right. Well, look, I want to talk about this today. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. We appreciate all the feedback that we get. You can always text the word retired to 21,000 to begin building out your retirement reality roadmap. But everything to get in touch with Mike is down in the show description, so make sure you check that out. Now, talk about the five love languages. I want to apply these to financial planning and maybe how you might encounter these things and what you do every day, Mike. So let's start with that first one, acts of service. Now, how would you apply this to what you do?
Well, this is one of my wife's love languages is acts of service. She just gets excited when I do the dishes and things like that, sweep the floor. But when it comes to financial side, when you're working, and providing, I think there's a sense of accomplishment, pride that you are, you go to work. I mean, just to grind away for 35, 40 years, 45 years. We do that because we know we are the provider as the husbands anyways, to make sure not just men just providing, but as we provide, there's a sense of accomplishment that we're providing, we're paying the mortgage and we're a roof over our head and clothes and food. And you want to be able to do that in retirement as well. So the key is with this acts of service in retirement, you want to make sure you have income set up. So then I think that's what's important about planning is we have, the Social Security and the pension and what shortfall you're going to be meeting, especially if you don't have enough from those two or you don't have a pension, is to make sure you're having an income source coming from your IRAs in retirement. And when that is set up and you're not going to run out of money in your lifetime, I think that's important to know that you've done a great job. And that kind of fills that need of acts of service. All those years of work still flow into retirement.
Yeah, you don't want a retirement income that only covers your basic needs, right? You want to be able to provide in much in the same way you did while you're working. So acts of service. All right, quality time, Mike. How does this take effect in financial planning?
Yeah, that's one of our kids. I can think of a couple of my kids is quality time, but to have those dollars in retirement to be able to do those, to make those memories. I think a big one, what we did last year is we did a family trip to Italy, right? To be able to create memories. And I'm finding more and more people said, I'm tired of buying the stuff for our kids for birthdays and Christmas. We just want to make memories, and so they're doing family trips, family getaways. They don't have to be extravagant, but could just be in northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, wherever it might be. I think making those camping to, with travel trailers to a campground for a week, making those memories with the kids and the grandkids, or, I think that's just important. Just have time and have the money to do some certain things, whether it's golfing and not really having to work, where a lot of people are retired, not having to keep working in your mid to late 60s and 70s to be able to have that time, because I don't think anybody said on their deathbed, I wish I could have worked another year or two. You know what? The opposite is, I wish I would have done some planning and retired sooner so I could spend more time with my family. And that's what's about quality time.
All right. Words of affirmation. I guess you'll probably have to give some of these out to the people you work with, right? They're coming in looking for affirmation that they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I think we're all looking for that, attaboy kind of pat on the back. I think a lot of people, when they come in here, they're fearful they're going to have, and that's why they're afraid sometimes to work with an advisor, because they're afraid they're going to be embarrassed or they're going to have those lack of words of affirmation, like you didn't do enough, you didn't save enough, you started too late, all these things that could be really shameful. And so reality is we don't talk that way to clients. Not everything that's happened is in your control, especially with retirement. Could have been bad advice. The advisor chose bad investments. Could have been layoffs. There's so many things that happen in life. There's always reasons to make changes, and there's going to have some light at the end of the tunnel. And the key is we're not here to shame people. We're here to give you encouragement and how to do things better. And just let you know, it's lets you off the hook, because a lot of times it is not your fault. And I think you just need to hear that sometimes.
We're going through the 5 love languages. Gifts are next, Mike. I know gifting is an important thing for a lot of people that you work with, and it comes into financial planning quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I love gifting. I think it's fun to surprise people with things like that. But being able to take care of your grandchildren's education, just surprising people, charities, whether individuals, but have the money to be able to do that. And it's hard to gift when you have a fear of running out of money. So again, that comes back down to planning. So we want to make sure you have the ability to give. And, you can give someday when you're gone. Unfortunately, fortunately your beneficiaries will get it, but unfortunately you won't be able to see them get it, right? So the key is, I think it's getting to be a more priority today. We're seeing clients want to gift while they're alive, so they get to see the fruits of their gifting today. And I think that's fun to see. If you're in that ability to be able to gift now. And the gift exclusion, by the way, for 2025 is $19,000. You can give $19,000 to as many individuals as you want, and they don't have to claim it as income. They don't have to file any form for the IRS or for taxes. You don't get a deduction. They don't have to claim it as income. It's a great amount. It goes up every year. So if you have 2 children, if you're married, you each can give $19,000 per child. So they can really get 38 grand if you wanted to. That's a fun way to give them a start, maybe get rid of some debt so they can be further along today rather than waiting till their inherit money in 60, 65 years old, when they could have used that money sooner.
All right, last one, Mike, physical touch. How would you encounter touch in what you do every day?
Yeah, and we're not going around touching our clients, it's a goofy thing, but a lot of men are physical touch in the book, right? So I read in the book that that's what they want. I've seen the majority of men, I think over half the men are physical touch. But when we look at financial planning, looking for a touch point, right? Having meetings with the advisor gives you that peace of mind, understanding about, where you are reality wise today and where we project you to be in the future. I think that's what it comes down to is having those touch points. And that comes with those annual reviews for some. Some people are meeting 2 or 3 or 4 times a year, constantly having these touch points to make sure you're on track. And little twist on the words a little bit, because we're not touching people. Make sure we're having those touch points.
Yeah, I like that. All right. So fun conversation, right? But again, kind of goes back to ultimately planning is so important, and having someone that can kind of help you out in all these different areas, no matter how you like to have that love language, right? No matter how that's applied to financial planning, Mike and his team can help you work through those things. Again, if you want to begin building out your retirement reality roadmap, very simple to do. Just text the word retire to 21,000. We'll send you a link back. You can schedule a time to work with Mike and the team there. But also, you can call directly, 888-430-PLAN. That's 888-430-7526. All right, Mike, enjoy the rest of your month. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Ben.
Investment advisory services offered through Alpha Star Capital Management, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of the firm by the Commission, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill or ability. Alpha Star, Principal Preservation Services, LLC, and Principal Wealth Services, LLC are separate and independent entities. Insurance products are offered through Principal Preservation Services, LLC, a Minnesota and Wisconsin insurance agency. Investment advice is offered through Principal Wealth Services, LLC. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products offered by Principal Preservation Services, LLC. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered or guaranteed by Alpha Star.